Folks, it seems like we could have this topic almost every day. Wokeness gone wild. This time, the wokeness is targeting words to describe your weight. A group of British researchers has deemed the term morbidly obese offensive and are advising doctors and scientists to stop labeling the fattest category of people as such. The researchers also urging doctors to stop referring to unsuccessful attempts at losing weight as failures. Instead, terms moving forward should include ineffective or insufficient weight loss, or even secondary weight regain. Secondary weight regain, really? Eventually telling doctors to stop using centuries-old medical terms to describe weight. Let's welcome back our panel, Tony Katz and Whitley Yates. Whitley, I'll start with you. The thing about morbidly obese, the term, it's actually medically prescriptive almost. I mean, it's telling you you're getting unhealthy. It's not morbidly ugly. It's right. It's not doing that. They're saying you're not healthy, and maybe you should do something about that.
You know, what's interesting is the woke are so focused on being aware that they're asleep. They're ashamed and critically sensitive about almost everything, even the undesirable aspects of themselves. And so we start turning away from self-awareness to embrace lies to make ourselves feel better. The truth is, if you're morbidly obese, you're at a place where you could die from the level of obesity in which you're at, and that is the problem. But we don't want to be we don't want to be told the truth. We'd rather be comforted by lies. And so here we are, a society that's turning to embrace lying to people as opposed to telling them things the way that they are, so that they can make changes for their lives for the better.
Yeah, Tony, your comment on this.
What is left if you want this from your doctor, right? If you want to see your doctor and the doctor does an entire workup and ends with, well, it looks like you've got an owie, everything will be okay. All right, but expect to die young. I can't help people who refuse to help themselves. I can't help people who don't want honesty. And if doctors aren't going to give it, the question is, why are you doctors? What's your value? Honesty is what we come to you for. Given our options is what we come to you for. If we wanted someone to just make us feel better, we'd go to mom. But mom's chicken soup, which is brilliant, by the way, isn't the cure-all when you have the cancer diagnosis, and isn't the cure-all for many other things. You need honesty from your doctor, not something that wokeism prescribes. This is very dangerous stuff, and doctors in the medical profession should stand up to their universities and to their medical groups and to these others and say, cut it out.
Yeah, and that's what I feel is, where have we gotten where somebody in power is able to make these things stick or put them in as a policy instead of being told, you're crazy, shut up. No, they're like encouraged now because nobody ever wants to challenge something that is so far left that it's insane. There's this also in New York. Governor Kathy Hochul has announced that she is directing all 64 SUNY college campuses to update their policies, allowing a person's chosen identity and pronouns to be used on their diplomas, campus profiles, and more. Students will also be given the ability to select X as a gender option by next year, fall 2023. Tony?
Good for you. I'm so glad you spent $40, $50, $60,000 a year on an education just so you could put XIR as your pronoun. You must be so very proud. I really can't wait for you to take that gender studies degree and go out there and not get a job.
We've had people fighting for women's rights. Are people going to be fighting for X's rights? I mean, how are they going to be able to identify themselves, to bring out their card? I mean, at least when you had marches, you could tell women were marching. Now with, I don't know. Whitley, it just seems that this is another case of woke gone crazy.
Yeah, and I went to a very woke liberal university here in Bloomington, Indiana, so I completely understand what's happening and what's going on. I mean, the truth of the matter is we should be asking why people with degrees are in the unemployment line, but instead of focusing on getting these people jobs and ready for the workforce and getting them, you know, active members of society, we're worried about how they feel about what's on their diploma. Once again, another situation where the left consistently take it too far. They're focused on the wrong things, and here you are. We've got X diplomas. That's where we're at as a country.
Tony, you have a connection there?
I'm just saying, the woke liberal university in Bloomington, Indiana, someone's going to need to get their decoder ring.
Oh, yeah,
from a box
who
of
would that
Cracker
be?
Jacks. Really
Who would
work
that be?
hard, Whitley, to figure that one out. That's awesome.
So it's almost like every week the wokeness goes crazy. What you're putting on your diploma, I've mentioned this before. My wife's a teacher. She's not supposed to use the term boys and girls. You're not supposed to say your mom and dad, because they don't want to assume. And look, not everybody has a mom and dad, and everybody gets that. But to be forbidden to say it, I mean, this is where we are in our society, Tony, which just seems like we're out of touch with some sort of reality, and somehow feels like we're going the wrong direction. With you look at any poll right now, and they will tell you our country's going in the wrong direction.
I don't disagree with that on many of these subjects, but I also appreciate the level to which we have people fighting back. You're right now in the moment where people are running for school board and they're trying to figure out how to do it. And you're going to be seeing people fight for their kids in that way. You've seen so many levels of rejection of woke culture, and you've seen it cannibalize itself. And these are good things. These fights are incredibly, incredibly worthy. And one of the things that the right has to remember, and I won't even just say the right, the whole of America has to remember, is that the political left, they have been practicing this for decades. The political right and people across America, they're just really understanding what's been happening. It might take you a little while to get good at pushing back, but you'll get there. You just got to stay at it.
All right, we need to go, but Whitley, 15 seconds, final thoughts.
This is my final thoughts. We cannot be silent, because our silence is compliance. And I stated this over and over again as I travel around the state of Indiana. We must speak out, and we must stand for what we believe, or we'll fall for anything. Yeah,
even though that unnamed university, we're still going to have to. Right.
I'm going to crack the code tonight. It's going to happen.
Whitley Yates and Tony Katz, thank you so much.